Why did that one kid get expelled? Peeing on a teacher who wouldn't let him go to the bathroom. He brought a gun to school and posted it on Snapchat. Instantly got caught and expelled. Stupidest thing anyone has ever done, but also a blessing in disguise. Planned a food fight that turned into a riot with property damage and then fled from the police. Playing kickball in gym class, kid kicked his shoe off and his bag of weed came flying out right to the teacher's feet. He stabbed another kid with a letter opener he made in shop class. We didn't make letter openers in shop class after that. Thought he was funny and decided to grab the SRO, Student Resource Officer's gun. Our SRO also happened to be part of SWAT. He did this as we all left end of day. Crowded hall. I remember this vividly over 20 years later. This was also post-Columbine by like a month. Kid got slammed into a wall, put in cuffs. Arrested and expelled immediately. For lifting up his shorts and exposing his balls through the leg hole to the principal while said principal was escorting potential investors for the school. Tackled and restrained by coaches after he grabbed a bat from the storage room with the intention of beating his pregnant math teacher with it. Stabbed a kid for mocking his dead sister. Downloading porn on the school computers was the last straw. He even used his own login. Walked out of English class to talk to another kid in the hall. The teacher was real lax, so she didn't care. He walked out to talk to this guy. Fight breaks out in the hall. Teacher runs out. Other teachers come help break up the fight. One teacher asks the kid that walked out class why they were fighting, and he said he stole my weed. Kid who left class was selling, and the kid in the hall tried to walk off without paying. Any other BS excuse would have just got him suspended. Him and his cousin beat up the deputy principal and tried to kill him with a spade. At school. No charges ended up being laid. Later went on to kill a tourist during the 2000 New Year's and dump his body in the harbor. Edit brothers not cousins. Memory is a little hazy after 23 years. I personally didn't know them, but knew enough to stay the fuck away from them. They were known for being trouble kids. Our art teacher stopped the attack. He's a hero. IMO. Well done sleuths for finding the articles. Kindergarten. A long list of threatening behaviors. Foster kid with every kind of past abuse told me he was going to shoot himself and then come shoot me. I refrained from pointing out his lapse in logistics. Flopped his dick on another dude's shoulder in his room at study hall. Boarding school is weird. He told the principal he had a gun and was going to go out and kill himself with it. This was pre-Columbine. Edit. To the best of my knowledge, he did actually have a gun, but I don't know with certainty. He just kept shitting his pants. There was nothing wrong with him. He just kept doing it. Same place, same time, every day. Right after recess when we lined up to go inside, he'd just let loose the fattest and wettest fart shit you'd ever heard. And it would echo through the silent hallway for literally everyone in the grade to hear. At first we thought it was just embarrassing for him. But by the time week 2 came around, we were all convinced he was doing it intentionally. I have no explanation because he was kicked out after like 3 months of consistently doing it. Giving a BJ in the staircase with glass walls facing the cafeteria windows, during lunch. He raped a girl with a broomstick with his buddies. Videotaped it. His mom found the tape and turned them in. Baited a very mentally unwell homeless man into the school for the giggles. Man had a knife and after being refused fries from the school cafeteria threw a tantrum on the tables. Nobody was hurt, but the kid was expelled for threatening future safety. The school made him take it down, and this was in 2012, but there used to be a video on YouTube of the incident. Here's one. A girl got drunk at a house party. Some guy ejaculated on her hair and took photos of it, as well as a few photos of her naked and unconscious. The girl's boyfriend went John Wick on the guy when he got emailed the photos by the guy. He was sent away for beating the shit out of this sexual assaulter, who wasn't even given detention. And the girl's photos got sent around for years and people called her slut. Terrible school. We had one kid that shit on a table and another kid ate it in high school. The shitter got expelled, but not the eater. Edit: I'm adding more details. These were both guys. There were a group of a few guys that thought it was cool to do things for reactions like this. One of them also ate a live goldfish and took a shot of cum at a party. The eater was not expelled, but I think suspended. He ended up going to Stanford. I have no clue what happened to the shitter. These people were in my grade, small class, about 100 kids. This was around 2006, I believe. Having a pound of weed in his car. So it didn't happen to me, but my friend was expelled for taking a shit in the teacher's purse. He sprayed another student with Zippo fluid and was attempting to set the student on fire when he was tackled. Russian exchange student in high school chased a squirrel, caught it. It bit him, so he swung it by the tail against a tree. He was expelled for having a detailed map of the school with locations where he wanted to place bombs and a list of students he wanted to kill and how he was going to do it. Put a picture of his penis in the yearbook that led to an investigation that ultimately landed him and 3 buddies in jail for spraying the fire extinguisher in the principal's face after he called him short, rolling on the floor laughing. He got caught trying to fuck the rival high school's horse mascot in the field they kept it in after his football team lost. He looked at porn on a school computer. Throwing peanuts at the girl who was known to be allergic. Got drunk on contraband screwdrivers at lunch and went to driver's ed. Crashed into some school buses parked on the driving course. Broke a kid's legs for no reason. I was there, and the pain I felt as I watched his leg go straight to bent. He kicked his knee from the side and completely dislocated his leg. The kid is in a wheelchair now. The final straw was when he lit a cigarette in French class and refused to put it out. Smoked it all. He was 13. I see him every now and again and he's a mess. Calling in fake bomb threats. My neighbor across the street was 3 years older. Practically a god to us. He was a very funny guy who also was a very good drummer. One day in the spring of his senior year, he decided to pull a fire alarm at school. That was it. He was expelled. He eventually got a GED, but this was when they were first starting out, so it took a couple of years. The last I heard, he had been briefly married and divorced and was working as a cashier at the local drugstore and was living in his mother's basement. He kept getting caught having sex in the gymnastic room. They literally had cameras in the room and he kept bringing girls there between classes. Got caught like 5 times before he got expelled. Put laxatives in a pregnant teacher's coffee. She miscarried 2 days later. Fucker was 12. Or the guy who brought a shotgun to school. Edit: apparently, laxatives have very little correlation to miscarriages. Also, it is apparently called a stillbirth, not a miscarriage. Thank you for correcting me. He raped another student.